Hi, I'm Dr. Umar Khan. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you a breakthrough joint pain discovery that's helping folks as young as 25 and as old as 95 quickly ease aches and pains in their knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, as well as virtually every other joint in their body, while regaining the flexibility, mobility, and comfort they may have not experienced in years or even decades. Best of all, it doesn't require any doctor's visits, prescription painkillers, or addictive opioid drugs. Plus, it also doesn't involve overextending yourself with exercise or physical therapy, and it comes with zero side effects. In fact, this all-natural remedy was first discovered centuries ago off the pristine coast of New Zealand. It's completely safe, non-habit forming, and it's almost impossible to develop tolerance to it. So it's something you can use for relief today, as well as for months and years to come. This new breakthrough works to stop a little-known sinister cellular force that's lurking behind virtually all forms of joint pain. Plus, it works to rapidly soothe inflammation while helping your joints move, bend and twist like they did when you were younger. Even more remarkably, this controversial method is unlike anything you've ever seen before. It involves 3 stupidly simple steps inspired by the ancient Maori tribe of New Zealand that anyone can do from the comfort of their home. Yet, when done together in the unique way I'm going to show you inside this controversial letter, you could quickly and easily start feeling relief today so that you can once again enjoy those long walks with the ones you love. Begin exercising regularly so you can stay in shape. Bend down or kneel without wincing in agony. Keep up with your grandkids and be able to enjoy your favorite physical activities without fear of injuring yourself. But I must warn you, much of what I'm going to reveal may go against everything mainstream medicine, most doctors, and most physical therapists have told you about eliminating joint pain to live a normal life again. That's why many big drug companies are not happy more people are reading this letter every day. And it's also why I fear they may try to censor the important message contained inside this presentation, which makes it even more urgent you stop whatever it is you're doing, pay close attention, and read this letter from beginning to end while you still have access to it. And just so you know, this has nothing to do with taking a fish oil, or medicinal marijuana, or doing uncomfortable stretches, or anything else you're probably thinking of right now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to get the best out of this incredibly effective miracle for your joints. And don't worry, you'll see all the scientific research that prove everything that's inside this letter, including dozens of peer-reviewed clinical studies from some of the most prestigious universities and medical journals in the world. On top of that, I'm going to share the personal and gut-wrenching story of how my mother losing her 2 knees led me down the path to discovering the true root cause of virtually all joint problems and helped me come across this incredible pain-relieving method that you can use to start feeling more comfort and relief today. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm Dr. Umar Khan. I'm a clinical researcher and physician. I also served in the U.S. military, where I helped treat many of the men and women who serve our country in combat. More importantly, I'm a husband to my beautiful wife who's also a doctor. But I'm not here to talk about my marriage or my medical credentials. And this isn't about the leadership roles I served while in the military either. Instead, I'm here to share with you an easy, simple, and highly effective method, something that could quickly relieve the joint pain you might be suffering from right now. As a medical doctor, I treat a lot of patients with a variety of pain problems. But all of the different types of pain you can suffer from, I believe joint pain is the worst. Now, I don't say that just because it can be extremely painful and debilitating, or because it's a huge problem with many of the soldiers I treat in the military. I say it because I've seen firsthand how it can ruin lives. Chronic joint pain is a very personal topic for me. Not only have my sisters struggled with joint pain problems for years, but joint problems nearly ruined my mother's life. For decades, my mom suffered from osteoarthritis in both her knees. And as you can imagine, she tried virtually every conventional treatment and medication around. Yet, nothing prevented what happened next. Because suddenly, at the young age of 49, she lost both her knees. The osteoarthritis had gotten so bad that my mom had no other choice but to get double knee replacement surgeries. Now, if you're thinking this story somehow has a happy ending, then you'd be right, because there is a silver lining to all of this. You see, after seeing how many mainstream medicines had failed not only my mother, but also my sisters, along with many of my patients, and after realizing that many painkillers are a waste of money because they don't actually treat how joint pain forms, they've been clinically shown to have extremely dangerous side effects, like causing irreversible kidney damage, heart attacks, and strokes. They are often just highly addictive narcotic drugs. I knew there had to be a better and more natural approach for me, my family, and the patients I treat. That's why I've dedicated a good portion of my time studying how joint pain actually works, along with researching unconventional alternatives that can help bring rapid relief. However, the path I took to discovering the joint pain breakthrough I'm going to share with you today was not perfectly smooth. In fact, there were plenty of speed bumps along the way. And honestly, I felt like giving up more than I would like to admit. But thankfully, I had a guardian angel looking over me. You see, my wife is also a medical doctor. In fact, she's an anesthesiologist, which means she keeps people alive when they undergo major surgeries, and she helps them to avoid experiencing pain. This also means that she has a deep understanding of how pain works in the body, including joint pain. If it weren't for my wife, I wouldn't have fully understood how joint pain forms and persists to become chronic, which also means that I wouldn't have come across the breakthrough approach I'm about to share with you. However, before we go any further, I think it's vitally important that we cover what my wife helped me learn about joint pain and how it persists even after physical therapy and other conventional pain treatments have failed to correct it. You'll want to pay close attention, because once you understand how pain actually forms inside your joints to become chronic, you'll also understand how easy it is to take control of the simple solution you're about to see. So how does chronic joint pain work? The best way to answer this question is to quickly look at what your joints really are and how they function. A joint is made up of at least two bones that meet at a common point, but don't actually touch each other. This allows your joints to flex, bend, and rotate with ease. In other words, the bones not touching each other gives your body the ability to move. At the ends of each bone is a protective layer of cartilage, which helps the bones easily slide and glide smoothly within the joint. Cartilage is wet and slippery because it contains a high amount of water, so movement is a lot smoother and easier. Now the cartilage-covered bones meet inside a special type of connective tissue. It's called the joint membrane. And contained inside this membrane is a thick fluid called synovial fluid, or what many medical experts call joint lubrication, because that's exactly what it does. It lubricates the joints, further allowing smooth and frictionless movement. Without joint lubrication, a joint wouldn't be able to easily bend and move like it should. And the thicker the joint lubrication fluid is, the better it is at helping your joints move without pain. But what does all this have to do with chronic joint pain? It has everything to do with it. Because when a joint experiences any form of trauma, like when it gets dislocated, fractures, or experiences high impact overuse, cells within the joint membrane and cartilage release special repair compounds that help fix and rebuild the damaged joint tissue. But if trauma is persistent, or your joint experiences too much inflammation as a result of trauma, it can overwhelm your joint's natural ability to rebuild and repair itself on its own. What happens is this. Trauma affects cartilage's ability to retain water. And when the water level is low, so is the cartilage's ability to slide with ease. This can cause the cartilage to become dry and brittle in some extreme cases. And that's when cartilage starts to break down. But that's not the worst part. As more joint cells become damaged, they die at a rate faster than new joint cells can be created. And this can cause microscopic holes to form inside the wall of the joint membrane. When that happens, joint lubrication literally begins to leak out of the membrane while blood gets inside. Now this creates a huge problem, because blood contains inflammatory molecules called cytokines. And while they start to inflame the joint from within the joint membrane, the incoming blood begins to dilute the joint lubrication, making it thinner, less slippery, and substantially less effective at lubricating the joint. As a result, the cartilage, which is already damaged by trauma, is no longer able to slide over the opposing cartilage with ease. And this is horrible because it erodes the cartilage so bad that parts of the bone can get exposed. It's like two pieces of sandpaper being rubbed together. The two ends of the opposing bones rub against each other, and if you have chronic joint pain, you know just how painful this can feel. Now, at this point, joint degradation is far outpacing the joint's natural ability to rebuild and repair cells of the joint membrane, which is exactly when inflammation takes over and becomes the driving force behind the joint degradation. I call this rapid joint degradation that persists for months and years after the trauma is gone cellular erosion, because not only does it literally erode the cells within your joints, but it also quickly erodes joint function and mobility, as well as your ability to move with ease and live a pain-free life. The worst part of all this is, if cellular erosion goes untreated for long enough, not only does it cause a hell of a lot of pain, but it can also lead to irreversible joint damage and permanent loss of its function. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. I know we covered a lot of science, so let's quickly sum up everything we just went over about cellular erosion and how it degrades the health and function of your joints. When a joint experiences trauma, like when it's dislocated, it fractures, or experiences high impact overuse, it can ignite what I call cellular erosion in the joints, which not only causes degradation of the cartilage, cellular erosion can also cause the joint membrane to leak joint lubrication and allow blood, along with inflammatory cytokines, inside the joint membrane. When inflammatory cytokines get inside the joint membrane, pain can persist and become chronic. And if it goes untreated for long enough, cellular erosion can lead to permanent damage. Make sense? Good. So right now you're probably wondering, how do you stop cellular erosion and the joint degradation it causes? And do so 100% naturally without dangerous and addictive medications. When I began to see how cellular erosion can progressively worsen, and realized how virtually none of the conventional solutions did much to address this, I knew there had to be a natural and effective way of reversing cellular erosion and the pain it causes while also supporting the joint's ability to repair itself. So I started looking at ways to do just that. At first, I wondered if it was as simple as telling people to get more physical therapy and rest. But I realized that while both of these things are incredibly beneficial in theory, they aren't necessarily practical for most people. Because getting 8 hours of sleep really isn't an option for most busy folks, and might be next to impossible for someone with a lot of chronic pain. The same goes for physical therapy. If you're already in a lot of pain, doing anything physical can make the pain even more unbearable. So I started looking at other natural alternatives out there. Now, from my work as a clinical researcher and experience treating hundreds of patients, I realized that when someone has chronic joint pain, it's usually a sign that inflammation is in control, and that it's the driving force behind cellular erosion and the joint degradation it causes. So I figured that dealing with inflammation would be a step in the right direction, and I knew fish oil was getting a lot of attention within the medical community because of its potent levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to fight inflammation. But as I looked into the latest research, I suddenly realized there is a growing problem with many fish oils on the market. The problem is that many are made using fish that come from contaminated waters, even deep ocean waters that are full of toxic chemicals and poisons like PCBs and mercury. Now, by no means am I a radical environmentalist. However, when I evaluated the research showing this, it was hard to ignore the fact that a shocking number of fish oils may come with a real risk of mercury poisoning, which can be extremely dangerous for your health and safety. But just when I thought that using fish oil was now off limits, a colleague of mine told me about another potent source of inflammation-fighting omega-3s, one that doesn't come with the risk of mercury poisoning, and has started to get the attention of many clinical researchers like myself. It's a rare marine organism that only grows in the clean and pristine waters of New Zealand. Its scientific name is Perna canaliculus, but locals call it the green lipid mussel. When I first looked into green lipid mussels, I was fascinated to discover that the indigenous people of New Zealand, called Maori tribe, have consumed them for centuries. In fact, Maori legend says that these small green mussels help prolong life and heal the body. Now that sounded great to me, but as a medical doctor, I couldn't just rely on tribal folklore. I needed to see scientific evidence. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel comfortable recommending it to my patients. So I looked to see what the studies had to say. And as it turns out, green lipid mussels have been scientifically shown to have high concentrations of omega-3s. But not ordinary omega-3s, green lipid mussels contain the most two important inflammation-fighting omega-3s, DHA and EPA. In fact, in a recent study published in the Journal of Aquaculture, scientists evaluated omega-3s provided by green lipid mussels and concluded that EPA and DHA together accounted for 70 to 79% of total PUFAs, fatty acids. This meant that you could get just as much, if not more, EPA and DHA omega-3s from green lipid mussels than you could get in fish oil. But I still had questions, like, were these omega-3s as effective at fighting inflammation as the ones you get from fish oil? Well, the next study I came across answered that very question. It was a randomized trial study published in the Journal of Marine Drugs, and in it, researchers set out to compare the anti-inflammatory effects of fish oil versus green lipid mussels. They enlisted 50 elderly patients clinically diagnosed with osteoporosis in the hips and knees, and gave them either green lipid mussels or fish oil. Now, I was genuinely surprised to see that the researchers found that patients who took the green lipid mussel showed a statistically significant improvement compared with patients who took the fish oil, and that there was an 89% decrease in their pain symptoms and 91% reported an improved quality of life. On top of that, the researchers were completely shocked to see that patients treated with fish oil showed significantly less improvement and a greater level of physical discomfort. Plus, the scientists went so far as to recommend P. canaliculus, green lipid mussel, oil as a safer and faster-acting alternative complementary therapy for patients who suffer from OA, osteoarthritis, compared with the use of fish oil. Now, if what this last study revealed was in fact true, then that would mean that the omega-3s from green lipid mussels are not only safer than most fish oils, but they're dramatically more effective at interrupting pain and inflammation. Well, this got me thinking. Maybe there are other natural ingredients that could help interrupt joint pain and inflammation in a safe yet effective way. That question led me to the discovery of several other ingredients that were showing a lot of promise, not only for their ability to interrupt joint pain and inflammation, but also support the production of joint lubrication while helping repair cartilage on the cellular level. As you'll see for yourself in just a second, each natural ingredient I'm about to share with you serves a completely different role. Yet each one plays an equally important part in helping your joints feel significantly better and function like they should. The ingredients that follow are part of what I call the ISR method, which simply stands for interrupt, support, and repair. Interrupt pain and inflammation within the joints, support the production of joint lubrication, repair the cartilage and other joint cells. Now, the first step of the ISR method, interrupt, includes the ingredient I just shared with you, green lipid mussels. However, the second ingredient is called Boswellia serrata. Boswellia serrata is a tree that grows in the dry and mountainous region of India, and it's played a major role in traditional Indian medicine for centuries. Inside this rare tree is a gooey-like substance that many medical experts believe to be able to stop joint pain, and when I looked into the research, I began to see what all of the excitement was about. You see, I came across a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the Journal of Phytomedicine. And in this study, researchers took 30 patients with osteoarthritis of the knee and separated them into two groups. Then they gave one group Boswellia serrata and the other group a placebo pill. At the end of the 8 weeks, they were shocked to discover that those who took Boswellia serrata experienced a decrease in knee pain, increase in knee flexion, and increased walking distance. Plus, they reported frequency of swelling in the knee joint was decreased when compared to those who did not take Boswellia serrata. Now, the next ingredient that plays a major role in interrupting pain and inflammation is also from India. And like Boswellia serrata, it's also been used in traditional medicines for thousands of years. It's called ashwagandha. Originally, ashwagandha was used to help alleviate constipation, stop insomnia, and clear brain fog and fatigue. However, new studies suggest it can also help relieve chronic joint pain because it contains a special compound called withaferin A, or WFA for short. And WFA has been shown to reduce pain and inflammation. For example, in a recent study published in the Journal of Cell Death and Disease, scientists discovered that these special compounds, WFAs, found only inside ashwagandha, suppressed inflammatory cytokines, and even increased new bone formation. Then, in another major study, This one, published in the Journal of Phytotherapy Research, researchers studied the effects of WFAs from ashwagandha on knee cartilage from patients with chronic osteoarthritis. They observed WFAs to have direct, statistically significant anti-inflammatory effects on human OA cartilage. The next step of the ISR method is support, and the main ingredient I've included in this step is called hyaluronic acid. Some medical experts call hyaluronic acid your joint's lubrication nutrient because it makes joint lubrication dramatically more effective. The reason for this is because hyaluronic acid is naturally produced inside the joint membrane, and it's actually what makes joint lubrication thicker and more slippery, so that your joints are better able to move and rotate with ease. But here's the problem. As you've just learned, whenever a joint experiences trauma, it can cause the joint membrane to become leaky. And when this happens, hyaluronic acid leaks out, causing joint lubrication to become a whole lot thinner and less slippery, resulting in significantly more friction inside the joints. And when there's more friction, you get more inflammation, which further progresses the downward spiral of cellular erosion. Now, when I realized that a lack of hyaluronic acid makes the joint lubrication less effective, I wondered, would consuming more hyaluronic acid enhance joint lubrication? Well, as turns out, the latest science says yes. In fact, according to new studies, consuming hyaluronic acid daily can do wonders for your joints. For example, in another major study published in the Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery, researchers reviewed the results of 20 randomized blind and controlled trials, each evaluating the therapeutic effects of hyaluronic acid on treating patients with osteoarthritis of the knee. And they concluded that it can provide significant improvements in pain and functional outcomes with few adverse events. Meanwhile, in a study published in the Journal of Current Rheumatology Reports, scientists found hyaluronic acid's therapeutic effect to include restoration of more normal synovial fluid and also help increase cartilage biosynthesis, which means that not only does hyaluronic acid support joint lubrication, also known as synovial fluid, but it also helps repair the cartilage by stimulating new cell formation. This brings me to the final step in the ISR method, repair, which is just as important as the first two steps of the ISR method. In fact, I believe ignoring this last but vital part could erase all of the benefits you get from the first two steps. That's why I left no stone unturned when researching ingredients proven to help repair cartilage and other joint cells, and as a result, I came across several incredible nutrients. The first one is collagen. Collagen is the main structural protein found in connective tissue like your skin, your joint ligaments. And it's also one of the main proteins that forms cartilage. In fact, according to a major study published in the journal Arthritis Research, collagen makes up 2/3 of the adult articular cartilage. In other words, the majority of your cartilage is made up of collagen. Plus, numerous studies have shown collagen to help improve joint mobility and help alleviate pain in the knees and hips. The next set of ingredients I came across during my research are also important structural components of cartilage. First, we have a nutrient called glucosamine sulfate. Glucosamine sulfate helps cartilage to better absorb shock and impact, which can allow you to move around with a lot less pain and a lot more stability. In fact, according to a recent study published in the Journal of Trauma and Emergency Surgery, researchers observed that daily glucosamine sulfate administration accelerates early phase fracture, bone repair, and increased new bone formation. This means that in addition to helping repair cartilage, glucosamine sulfate can also help repair your bones. The next ingredient is called chondroitin sulfate, and studies show that consuming this nutrient could also dramatically reduce pain and increase joint function. In a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatology, researchers took 162 patients with osteoarthritis in the hand and gave them either chondroitin sulfate or a placebo pill. At the end of the study, they concluded that patients who took chondroitin sulfate had a significantly more pronounced decrease of hand pain versus those who took the placebo pill. On top of that, they also observed that hand function improved significantly more in the CS group than in the placebo group. Now, the last repair ingredient I'm going to share with you is called MSM. And studies suggest that MSM also helps the body form new cartilage as well as decrease joint inflammation. For example, in a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the journal Osteoarthritis and Cartilage, Scientists took 50 patients with knee osteoarthritis and either gave them MSM or a placebo pill. At the end of the 12-week study, they were completely amazed to discover that compared to placebo, MSM produced significant decreases in pain and physical function impairment. Now, at this point, I was truly excited because I had come across several ingredients that were scientifically shown to not only help interrupt pain and inflammation in the joints, but to also support the production of joint lubrication as well as to help with cartilage repair so that mobility could be restored. Plus, I had clinical studies showing these ingredients to work extremely well. But as excited as I was, I also realized that many of my patients had taken some of the ingredients separately, and they certainly hadn't led to results worth mentioning here. Then it suddenly struck me. Maybe folks are only addressing just one part of the problem, while ignoring the other vital steps. For example, someone could take ingredients to help stop pain and relieve inflammation, but if they neglect supporting the production of joint lubrication and they don't repair their cartilage at the same time, then the relief they got could be short-lived. This made me wonder, would combining all of these ingredients provide a more complete and longer-lasting joint pain solution? And if so, then why weren't drug companies using them in their pain remedies? Well, the second question was very easy to answer, because I know from my experience as a medical doctor that many drugs, especially painkillers, are habit-forming, and many big drug companies make their money from people who are hooked on their medications. You can probably see why giving folks a natural remedy that's non-habit-forming would cost these big companies billions of dollars in lost profits, right? So even if they knew about these ingredients and their potential to bring you complete and long-lasting relief, they most certainly would not want you knowing about them. Unless, of course, they could patent the ingredients and then charge you a small fortune every month for them. And as for the first question, would combining all of these ingredients provide a more complete and longer-lasting joint pain solution? Well, I was still uncertain what the answer might be, because to my knowledge, no one had ever combined these ingredients together before, and certainly not in the dosages that many of the studies called for. So I figured the only way to find out would be to try them myself, which is what I started to do. I quickly discovered that getting quality forms of each ingredient was most certainly not cheap. Yet, when I saw the combined effect these ingredients had on lowering inflammation in my body, as well as improving my comfort levels, I suddenly realized that these ingredients could be a real game changer, especially for folks with a lot of joint pain. And when I started recommending these ingredients to my patients, I was even more impressed because I was able to see firsthand how powerful they were, how they were able to ease pain in the knees, shoulders, hips, ankles, wrists, elbows, and virtually every other part of the body, and how they were able to improve flexibility, mobility, and comfort levels in people who suffered from joint problems for decades. Now, after seeing astonishing results firsthand, plus reviewing the science behind how these ingredients work incredibly well when combined together in the right way, I wanted to load up on as much of them as possible. That way, I could give them to every single person who needed help. Unfortunately, however, this turned out to be much more difficult to do than I expected, because it's virtually impossible to find high-quality forms of these ingredients in most retail stores. Don't get me wrong, there were plenty of products out there. However, from what I could see, most don't have the clinically backed dosages of ingredients you need to feel a real difference. And most only attempt to provide pain relief, while completely ignoring the other two critical steps to the ISR method for restoring your joints, which are supporting joint lubrication and repairing cartilage and other joint cells on the cellular level. Luckily, however, I did come across one product that really surprised me, because when I looked into its formula, I was very impressed to see how it exceeded my expectations. It's called Marine Flex Ultra. What makes Marine Flex Ultra so special? First of all, Marine Flex Ultra contains every single one of the ingredients we've discussed today. The rare green lipid mussel from New Zealand, ashwagandha root from India, hyaluronic acid, glucosamine sulfate, chondroitin sulfate, and MSM. And yet, that's not the most impressive part. The impressive part is that not only does Marine Flex Ultra provide these ingredients in the dosages some of the scientific studies show to be extremely effective, but Marine Flex Ultra also provides 15 more powerful allies in your battle against chronic joint pain. These ingredients include bromelain, calendula, cetyl myristoyate, burdock root, Mojave yucca, feverview, horsetail, shark cartilage, white willow bark, and acetyl D-glucosamine, gentian root, cinnamon bark, shatavari, Oregon grape root, and Romania root. Hundreds of scientific studies show these ingredients to further interrupt pain and inflammation, support the production of joint lubrication, and help repair cartilage. And if those reasons weren't enough to make Marine Flex Ultra the most superior joint pain formula on the market, you should also know that Marine Flex Ultra is manufactured in a GMP certified and FDA compliant facility right here in the United States, which simply means that each capsule of Marine Flex Ultra is made with the highest safety and quality standards. Plus, the makers of Marine Flex Ultra have gone the extra mile and sourced the highest quality and most potent forms of each of the 23 ingredients inside. For example, the inflammation-fighting omega-3s you get inside each tablet come from the green lipid mussels that only grow in the clean and pristine waters of New Zealand. And as proven in numerous studies, these omega-3s are free of toxic chemicals commonly found in many fish oils. Plus, the omega-3s from green lipid mussels are also dramatically more effective. And unlike most fish oil providers, the makers of Marine Flex Ultra use a patented extraction process that ensures you get more DHA and EPA, which are the best forms of omega-3s. When I saw how transparent the makers of Marine Flex Ultra are, how they provided me with every detail of their manufacturing methods, as well as all of the science behind Marine Flex Ultra, along with the proof the dosages contained inside each tablet are matched to specific and relevant studies, becoming the spokesperson for such a remarkable and incredibly effective product was a no-brainer for me. Not only am I a doctor who recommends his patients use natural alternatives for pain relief, but I'm also someone who is deeply passionate about living as healthy and pain-free as possible. And I realize how horrible joint pain can be when you want to live a normal and active life. How it can hijack your comfort and make it impossible to be your old self again. I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying. If the pain you're suffering from has persisted for months or even years, you personally know it can begin to negatively impact just about every part of your life. Not only is it agonizing and frustrating, but it can force you to be less social and outgoing. Chronic joint pain can make you more moody and harder to be around. It can ruin your ability to get a good night's sleep, making you more anxious, stressed, and even depressed. And as you know, having chronic joint pain gets in the way of you getting the exercise and physical activity you need to stay healthy and energized. I bet you'd give just about anything to have complete, long-lasting relief, wouldn't you? Especially considering that conventional pain drugs can be highly addictive and lead to side effects that are worse than the pain itself. If you're like me or most of my patients, it horrifies you to think you could develop a dependency to strong pharmaceutical drugs that do absolutely nothing to address how joint pain actually forms and persists. And you're tired of forking over thousands of dollars a year for these side effect-filled medications, paying thousands of dollars extra for health insurance premiums, and spending more and more time at the doctor's office. If you're like many of my patients, you might even wonder if the joint pain you have is worth fighting for, and whether it's better to just end it all before it gets worse. That's the way many folks have felt about their own struggle with chronic joint pain before they use the approach I've shared with you inside this presentation. Which is why I truly believe every American who suffers from any kind of chronic joint pain stands to benefit from Marine Flex Ultra. Although, of course, just like with any pain treatment, I do recommend checking with your pharmacist or physician to ensure there are no negative interactions with prescription medications you may be taking. Whether you suffer from knee pain, arthritis, muscle spasms, shoulder pain, lower back pain, or pain in your hands, wrists, elbows, the 23 powerful ingredients you get inside each tablet of Marine Flex Ultra get to work right away, helping not only interrupt joint pain and inflammation, but also supporting joint lubrication, while helping repair cartilage on the cellular level so that you can start feeling more relief, more comfort, and more mobility as soon as today, as well as far into the future. Okay, so at this point, you're probably wondering how you can get your hands on Marine Flex Ultra right away. And you might also be wondering, how much should you take to get the best results possible? The truth is that there are only limited supplies of Marine Flex Ultra available. And that's not a marketing gimmick or anything like that. It's a fact. Remember, Marine Flex Ultra is made in a GMP certified facility, and all 23 ingredients come in their most potent and pure forms, which by no means is cheap or easy to accomplish. On top of that, the omega-3s inside Marine Flex Ultra come from the rare green lipid mussels, which only grow in a few clean water sources in New Zealand. Plus, getting all of the ingredients in the right amounts into one small, easy-to-swallow tablet adds even more time and cost to the production process, which means out of stocks are always a risk. And because of this, the makers of Marine Flex Ultra can only produce a limited number of bottles at any given time. Plus, because the 23 ingredients inside Marine Flex Ultra can help with so much more than just your joint pain and have been proven to help relieve all kinds of pains, aches, and muscle spasms, as well as fight inflammation everywhere in the body, men and women of all ages also find it useful for other inflammatory ailments, like digestive issues, acne problems, headaches, even migraines, low immunity, yeast infections, and so much more. As a result, our customers end up ordering several bottles at a time, which can make producing enough Marine Flex Ultra for the growing demand even more difficult. Now, as thrilled as I was to hear that so many people trust Marine Flex Ultra not only for their own personal relief, but to be shared with their family members, I also realized that Marine Flex Ultra's growing popularity has put even more of a strain on our ability to keep up with growing demand, which again can make out of stocks a very real risk. But with that being said, I also don't want anyone to suffer from chronic joint pain that makes it hard to go about your day, especially when there is an effective and 100% natural alternative that is completely non-habit forming, that does not come with any of the horrible side effects you get with most prescription medications, and works by addressing how the chronic joint pain forms on the cellular level, which is why in just a moment, I'm going to share how you can get a brand new bottle of Marine Flex Ultra today through our new Repair Your Joints initiative. First, though, let me return to that second question concerning how much Marine Flex Ultra should you take to get the best results possible. This is actually pretty straightforward. Just take one small tablet every day for at least 30 days. Here's why it's important you take Marine Flex Ultra for at least 30 days, if not more. While all 23 ingredients inside Marine Flex Ultra begin to work their magic right away, interrupting pain and inflammation so you can get almost immediate relief, and also support the production of joint lubrication as well as repair cartilage so that you can move with more ease, it's best to look at Marine Flex Ultra as your daily relief formula, something you make part of your normal, everyday routine, much in the same way you would take a multivitamin, because the more you use it, the more effective it could be. It's for that reason that I personally recommend you choose at least 3 bottles of Marine Flex Ultra, and 6 bottles if you want complete and long-lasting relief for months and years to come. Then take it for at least 90 days or more. That way you can be absolutely confident you're doing everything possible to make sure your chronic joint pain is a forgotten memory, while you keep providing your body with the nutrients it may desperately need to improve your joints' mobility, flexibility, and comfort. That's the choice countless Americans just like you have already made. Now you should know that Marine Flex Ultra is only available on this website, and only while supplies last and we're still able to provide it, which might not be for that long. Because of increasing clinical demand for many of the ingredients inside Marine Flex Ultra, especially the ultra-clean and safe form of omega-3s that only come from the rare green lipid mussels of New Zealand, it's becoming dramatically harder to keep up with growing demand. Normally, Marine Flex Ultra retails for $149 per bottle. But right now, and through this website only, you can get your very own supply of Marine Flex Ultra at a major discount. As you've seen proven in the studies I've shared with you, the joint pain interrupting power provided by this all-natural breakthrough may be just as strong as many popular prescription painkillers. But you don't build a tolerance to Marine Flex Ultra, which means that it maintains its effectiveness over time so that you can use it today for relief as well as far into the future. On top of that, unlike most conventional painkillers, Marine Flex Ultra is completely non-habit forming, which is why so many folks love the fact that they can take it without worry of forming a dependency. And it doesn't come with the nasty side effects that accompany so many conventional painkillers. Instead, Marine Flex Ultra has hundreds of side benefits, including less anxiety, reduced stress, improved mood, better sleep, a healthier immune system, and so much more. When you consider all of that, plus the fact that most prescription drugs cost a small fortune each month, $149 for a bottle of Marine Flex Ultra seems like a really good deal, especially given that it contains the clinically relevant dosages of some of the ingredients. Plus, these ingredients work synergistically together to target each phase of restoring your joints, interrupting the pain and inflammation, supporting the production of joint lubrication, and helping repair cartilage on the cellular level. And let's not forget all of the benefits you could get that money can't buy, like being able to painlessly go on a walk with your significant other, or inviting your spouse out to the dance floor as you painlessly dance the night away, or playing with your grandkids without worrying you'll injure yourself, or enjoying 18 rounds of golf again without experiencing any pain in your shoulders or back, or even sitting on your knees for hours as you enjoy planting your garden. When you consider all of this, $149 seems like a pretty amazing deal to me. Yet despite all of that, when you get your personal supply of Marine Flex Ultra today, you won't be investing anywhere near $149. Because the makers of Marine Flex Ultra have an exclusive agreement with a major green lipid muscle provider, as well as an exclusive agreement with the manufacturer who puts these ingredients together, they are able to produce each bottle at a lower cost than most other supplement providers in the industry. It's most certainly not cheap by any means. However, it does give them a big advantage when it comes to pricing. And because of this, along with the fact that we want to help as many people as possible live pain-free lives, we've decided to pass the savings on to you. So when you order right now, you can get your very own bottle of Marine Flex Ultra for a one-time investment of just $69 as part of the Repair Your Joints initiative. But that's just the beginning. I understand that eliminating joint pain for good and helping your joints move with ease for months and years to come is vitally important. I also realize that sharing this breakthrough formula with the ones you love is just as important. That's why the folks at Marine Flex Ultra have created a substantially discounted multi-bottle plan where you can stock up and save on 6 bottles of Marine Flex Ultra for just $49 per bottle. That's a total of only $294 and a total savings of $600 when you order right now. But this special discount is only being offered to you through this website as part of Marine Flex Ultra's Repair Your Joints initiative. Plus, when you order today, they're going to give you free shipping and handling, which is a $9.99 value. But both the discount and the free shipping are for a limited time, and only while supplies last. So click on the button below right now and choose the 6-bottle option or any other option that's best for you and your family and secure your order today while you still can. In the grand scheme of things, this is one of the smallest but most important investments that you will ever make. An investment that could not only bring you relief, comfort, and mobility, but that could even restore your ability to confidently live a healthy and active life again. A single bottle of Marine Flex Ultra could begin to immediately help interrupt the pain and inflammation inside the joints. 3 bottles could do the same thing while also dramatically supporting the production of joint lubrication. And with 6 bottles of Marine Flex Ultra, you could be setting yourself up for complete and long-lasting relief, so that you can live a life free of joint pain and the limitations it comes with. Now at this point, you're probably asking, how do I get started? And the answer is easy. Simply click the button below right now and choose the option of Marine Flex Ultra that's best for you and your family. After you click that button, you'll go to a simple and secure checkout page where you'll enter your order details, and within 5 business days from today, you'll receive Marine Flex Ultra at your front door. So go ahead and click the button below right now while there's still Marine Flex Ultra in stock and enjoy long-lasting relief and comfort starting today. This should be a very easy decision to make, by the way, because your investment today is also covered by a 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Here's how it works. Right now, just say maybe to Marine Flex Ultra by placing your order. Then once you get your bottles in a few short days from now, start taking your 1 tablet each day and see how you feel. You'll most likely notice a difference within the first week of use, and if you're anything like our other customers, you may also find you have significantly less pain, improved comfort, more mobility, and flexibility. As you continue to use Marine Flex Ultra daily, you may even begin to feel like your old self again. That's the way it's been for countless folks before you who decided to try Marine Flex Ultra. However, If for any reason you change your mind about this investment, just call or email our award-winning customer service team at any point, and you will receive a full refund immediately. No questions, no hassles. Plus, you don't even need to return the product. It's yours to keep. It's our way of saying thanks for trusting in Marine Flex Ultra. What this means is that you've got no downside here at all, making this a 100% risk-free investment in you and your family's health. And you'll have a full 180 days, 6 full months to see if Marine Flex Ultra is right for you. Doesn't it make sense to feel and experience the results as a part of your decision-making process? Then why not think it over while you try Marine Flex Ultra, since you're not risking a single penny? So go ahead and try Marine Flex Ultra today and decide later if it's right for you. And click the button you see below right now and say yes to conquering your pain, and yes to living a normal, active, and healthy life again. Yes, I want to conquer joint pain and secure my supply of Marine Flex Ultra now so I can enjoy long-lasting relief and comfort starting today. This is the end of the presentation, and ultimately the decision is yours. You can forget everything you've learned inside this presentation and let pain get in the way of you living a normal life. That's absolutely your choice. But if you make that decision, what will change? If you have agonizing joint pain that's making it hard to go about your daily life, chances are what you're doing right now isn't working. And it's causing you to miss out on the experiences with your friends and family that make life worth living. You've seen the science behind what Marine Flex Ultra does. You know that it can make a dramatic difference in your ability to have more mobility, comfort, and relief. And you know it's already making a huge difference in the lives of thousands of folks just like you. That's why I highly encourage you to choose to say yes to Marine Flex Ultra today. Simply claim your supply of Marine Flex Ultra by clicking the button you see below. You're protected by a 100-day money-back guarantee, which means there's absolutely no risk. So go ahead and choose your package right now and start living a normal, pain-free life again. Yes, I want to conquer joint pain and secure my supply of Marine Flex Ultra now so I can enjoy long-lasting relief and comfort starting today. Frequently asked questions. Question 1. How does Marine Flex Ultra help with my joint pain again? Marine Flex Ultra works by addressing the health and function of your joints on 3 different levels. First, it interrupts pain and inflammation. Next, it supports the production of joint lubrication. And finally, it helps to repair cartilage. Marine Flex Ultra is able to do this because it contains 23 ingredients that have been clinically shown to address each of these steps, providing powerful and rapid relief that can help you live a pain-free life again. Question 2. What else does Marine Flex Ultra help with? The 23 scientifically proven ingredients inside Marine Flex Ultra have been shown to combat inflammation, promote hormonal balance, and increase blood circulation, which are things that can benefit your cognitive health, cardiovascular system, hormones, and virtually every other system in your body. So while prescription medications have horrible side effects, many of them worse than the actual pain you might have, you can see that Marine Flex Ultra only has side benefits that support your overall health. And since it's all natural, non-habit forming, and you don't build a tolerance to it, it's something that will maintain its effectiveness for the months and years to come. Question 3. How long will it take to get my order of Marine Flex Ultra once I've placed it? As soon as you place your order, we will immediately get to work shipping it out to you. Then it will be just 3 to 5 business days until it arrives at your front door. From there, you can start taking Marine Flex Ultra daily for fast-acting and long-lasting relief. Question 5. How much Marine Flex Ultra should I take each day? Inside each bottle of Marine Flex Ultra, there are 30 capsules. I suggest you simply begin with 1 capsule, then allow 30 to 60 minutes to pass and see how you feel. If your pain is really severe, simply take 1 to 2 capsules until you feel relief. Plus, because Marine Flex Ultra is 100% natural, there are no dangerous side effects or harm to your liver or body. And you don't build a tolerance to it either. If you decide to take several capsules a day, I've made it very easy and affordable with my 6-bottle discount. Question 6. How does the 6-bottle discount work again? Folks love the 6-bottle deal because it makes it easier for them to experience complete relief around the clock. So if you suffer from severe pain and think it might take more than 1 capsule a day of Marine Flex Ultra to get the ultimate relief you need, simply order 6 bottles on the checkout page and you get them at a rate of just $49 per bottle, which is a huge savings of $100 per bottle off the normal retail price. This is also a great option if you want to order for your family and friends, or you want to stock up to avoid future price increases, which are likely to happen. And you'll be 100% protected when you do this because your order comes with my 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Question 7. How does that guarantee work again? I realize that you've yet to experience what MarineFlex Ultra can do for you, so I want to make you feel 100% confident when you make your investment today. That's why your order comes with a full 180-day money-back guarantee, which works like this. Click the button below to order the 6-bottle option right now, or whichever option is best for you and your level of pain, and if you change your mind about your investment for any reason, you have an entire 6 months to get a full refund with 0 questions asked. To get your money back, you just call or email my team and we will promptly return 100% of your money to you. And you don't even need to return the product. It's yours to keep. Question 8. How long will this offer be available for? The truth is, I really don't know, because every time a natural remedy that truly works comes about, mainstream medicine and big pharma see it as a threat and may try to patent the formula and make it hard for others to produce at a reasonable price. All of which means I don't think you can afford to wait a second more on this decision, especially since you're going to be protected by that full 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. And you'll be able to feel relief from within a very short time once you start taking your MarineFlex Ultra capsules daily. Question 9. Okay, I'm ready to experience the amazing benefits of MarineFlex Ultra. What do I do now? This is the simplest part. Just click the button you see below right now, and you'll go to my secure checkout page. It only takes about 2 minutes to place your order. And once you're finished, we'll start shipping out your supply of MarineFlex Ultra to you. Plus, shipping and handling is included for free, which means ordering has never been easier. So go ahead and click the button now. And I can't wait to hear about your experience using MarineFlex Ultra.